What is going on, everyone? Sixers talk, baby. Sixers talk. There are some things to discuss. Ben Simmons had an interesting quote that is very controversial that's being thrown all over the place right now. Also, Brett Brown had some things to say, which I actually loved, and I was juiced up, and I started to get all fired up thinking about the Sixers when I read them. Oh, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. But before we dive into this, make sure you use the free money that I can give to you. Use the promo code BROADS for $20 off of your SeatGeeks purchase. Get yourself to a game now. $20 off. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. Let's talk about it. So with Ben Simmons, he stated that he fell in love with the game again. There are fans who look at this in disgust and say, "You've lost the love for the game? Are you kidding me? You're on the 76ers. You have a passionate fan base. You're in the second round of the playoffs. You lose on a quadruple doink in Game 7, and you lost the love of the game?" I don't see it that way. Absolutely not. This is a 22-year-old kid who grew up in the era of Twitter, of social media, of getting destroyed by all sorts of media outlets. It was obvious and it was clear to him that these news outlets were getting to him. All right? And that's reality. It's not easy to grow up in this era where you are just getting ripped apart by everyone. Not just media outlets. It's random-ass people who just watch basketball every day tweeting at him, "You suck, you're horrible, you're the worst, you can't shoot, you're a bum," every single day. Human nature is to get upset about that. Human nature is for that to get to you. It's so easy to sit here and say, well, that doesn't mean anything. You're a professional athlete. Just quiet it out and go play basketball. It's so easy to say that, right? But that's not how it works. So it got to him. And he might have gotten defeated by that. Okay. From that aspect, it sucks to hear that he got defeated by that. But here's the thing. He put it past him now, and he's ready to move forward. That's what I love about it. Every athlete, to an extent, maybe not every, but 95% of athletes are going to face adversity at one point in their career. This could be a blessing in disguise. I don't care about what's going on. I put work in this summer. I work towards my craft. And hell, you can argue that because of this, he put even more passion into working on his craft. So it could be a big-time blessing in disguise. But you can argue that this is such a key piece to his career. It's not a big deal. You can factor in also that maybe Jimmy Butler being the primary ball handler last year during the backstretch of the season ate him alive because he wanted to be the guy. And that's a good thing. That's a competitor. That's someone who wants the ball in his hands. That's someone who wants to be the guy. And it was taken away by Jimmy Butler because of his inability to shoot. So he lost the love of the game. And he found it again this offseason. I see nothing but positives. Adversity is fine. You're allowed to lose a little bit of love when things are going south. It's about picking yourself back up and moving forward. And with this quote, and with the article, and with the interview that I saw Rob Motti tweet out, it's going in the right direction. I'd be more disappointed if all of his quotes were, "I just don't love the game. I'm pissed off. I don't know what to do with myself. People keep ripping me apart. I don't know how I'm going to handle it." I'd be disgusted to hear things like that. But no, he's putting it past him, and it's just him battling adversity. That's how I see this. To think this is negative, it's not. It's him fighting through a hard part in his career, his young career, in an era where media is abusing people. He's got to find a way, and this is his learning moment. Fine. It's a positive. Now, Brett Brown also stated, I'll get to his best quote of the day, but he said, by a long shot, you can see that Ben Simmons put a lot into his craft this offseason. Like, this is by far the biggest offseason that Ben Simmons ever had in terms of developing and adding to his game and getting that jump shot, essentially. I mean, that's it. It's all about the jump shot. But Brett Brown is coming out and right from the jump. I mean, he knew he was going to get the questions. Bang, he's starting to answer them already. It's before training camp. Saying, listen, you can see he is confident. His willingness to shoot, that stood out to me. His willingness to shoot is huge. I love it. I really do love it. And even Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons knows that everyone misses. That line stood out to me as well. Everyone misses. You're going to miss shots. Everyone misses. So he's starting to get that mindset of, I don't care. I don't care what everyone's saying. It was eating him alive at times, sure. Human nature, once again. But he doesn't care. Let's go. I will counter by saying this. It is a lot easier said than done in the summertime before anything starts. Let's see how he feels in October, November, December, January, and hell, even in playoffs. It's a lot easier said than done because things happen, and then you start hearing the noise once again and start getting criticized again. How will he block it out then? But still, it's not a bad mindset with where he is right now. It's a lot easier said than done, though, now in the offseason compared to regular season when it's the big-time moments. But it's okay that he's in this mindset at this very time. Let's get to the best quote from Brett Brown. You ready for this? We will end up playing smash mouth offense and bully ball defense. Ew, let's go. Now we're going to have some different philosophies, which we all know last year we were disgusted with how the pick and roll went and how we were defensively. J.J. Redick really couldn't defend. Well, Udoka was talking about the pick and roll D and how it's going to change this year, when we're going to start using the blitz, which, the double team creates some turnovers. I was super pumped to read about that. It didn't go too into detail. It's giving you a general idea on some of the moves we're going to make, but I was fired up to hear about that. I'm so juiced thinking about this defense. We are so long and so athletic. It's going to be nuts. And then in terms of our offense, our wings are going to be in the corners more instead of the foul line and out, and our four-man is going to be more at the 4-point line, as they call it, instead of the elbow, which will create more space in the open floor. It's going to be so much fun this year. It really is. There's some other news. Matisse Thybulle got injured, and of course I was all worried because, let's be real, over the last few seasons, if you are a first-round draft pick for the Philadelphia 76ers, you don't touch the floor. And he rolled his ankle, but he was cleared to practice after the rolled ankle. Hallelujah, all right? Not as bad as I originally thought. I just assumed that every first-round draft pick for the Sixers just won't play. I mean, that's how it's been over the last few years. And speaking of first-round draft picks that don't play, Markelle Fultz and the Orlando Magic put out a video, and I am all in love with the Philadelphia 76ers videos in terms of Ben Simmons taking a jump shot, but I will rip apart the Orlando Magic because they're putting up this hype video of Markelle Fultz. You see the same hitch, you see the same weird motion with this jump shot. I get it. They're trying to sell tickets. They want people to come out to the stadium. It's not like they have a bunch of fans in Orlando anymore. So they're trying to sell, hey, look, Markelle Fultz, here he is. Let's go watch him. But you see the same exact hitch in his shot. Nothing has changed in his actual shot. Listen, the Sixers are in a great position. You had to trade him. People are saying, oh, you shouldn't have traded him. You had to, because of his cap space on the salary cap, and with where we are in terms of trying to make a championship run, we don't have time to wait for Markelle Fultz. So getting rid of Markelle Fultz, it is what it is, all right? We can't keep dwelling on it. If he has success, it doesn't relate. It doesn't mean because he has success with the Magic, it would have been the same with the Philadelphia 76ers. The pressure is completely different. And his mindset changes. Changes. Once you get traded, a lot of things happen psychologically where you either put more to your craft or, you want to prove people wrong. A lot of things have changed. Just if it does work out in Orlando, good for him, all right? Because I know he's been through a lot, but it doesn't mean he would have been that player with the Philadelphia Sixers because he wouldn't have had the same chance. He wouldn't have had the same minutes. The pressure's completely different. We're trying to win a title. It's just different. But I just thought that was funny because you see the same exact shot. And before we dive back into the Sixers, there's some other news around the league. Jaylen Brown. Apparently the Celtics are not going to offer him a contract as he is a restricted free agent. You know how it works with the Celtics. I actually think they do a great job with this. They don't just throw money around the restricted free agents. They just don't. They do it differently. And, I think it's actually smart, to be honest with you. Is Jaylen Brown worth $170+ million? And, and I like the way that they assess their restricted free agents. Now, it creates a little bit of headbutting in terms of the Celtics organization, but, listen, you can find another Jaylen Brown. It's not like he's a player that you can't find and who can't fill that role, right? So, I just thought it was very interesting. Let's talk more about the Sixers. Josh Richardson was talked about as well, and he's going to defend the primary ball handlers of the other team. All right. All right, this dude's a dog defensively. He'll give you that grit. He'll give you that hustle, and, he's a guard, of course, so he can definitely do that. But I found it very interesting to hear that he will be the guy defending the primary ball handlers. I love the fact that Ben Simmons can guard 1 through 5 as a point guard offensively. It brings so much more to the table on what we can do defensively. You hear about what we're going to do with the pick and rolls, and we're going to have the big man up a little bit more so they don't have as much space. I'm super excited for what we're going to be able to bring to the table defensively. And then last year, well, there's two things, but they're super, super quick. One's with Joel Embiid, and this is kind of obvious, but the load management will be a thing. Now, how much of a thing will it be? Are we going to see something similar to the Kawhi Leonard situation that happened in Toronto? I would be okay with that. Maybe we see 65 games of the 82, sit him on back-to-back nights, have Al Horford slip in there as the backup 5. Well, it would be the starting 5 at that point. I'm totally okay with that, but load management for Joel Embiid will obviously be a thing, and that's totally cool. I think we all realized that to begin with. And Tobias went up to Brett Brown with some juice surrounding his defense, essentially saying, I'm going to play D for you. I'm not going to be a weak link. And that gets me fired up, baby. So let me know your thoughts down below. A lot to break down. I'm super pumped for Sixers to be back. You all know that the Sixers are my number one right now in the city. I love it. I love Sixers basketball. It's truly the best. So let me know your thoughts down below on all of this. It is definitely interesting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.